remember how this adventure started.
Solar system between Jupiter and Saturn. About 5,000 AD. 5,000 AD. We're still in the time of your ancestors.
Ancestors?
Yes. That was the year of the Great Breakout.
The Great what?
When your forefathers went leapfrogging across the solar system on their way to the stars. Asteroid belt's probably teeming with them now. You frontiersmen, pioneers, waiting to spread across the galaxy like a tidal wave. Or a disease.
Why disease? I thought you liked humanity.
Oh, I do. Some of my best friends are humans. When they get together in great numbers, other life forms sometimes suffer.
The great leap into space. Well, it's not very fashionable to say this nowadays, but that still really turns me on. The first time I watched that, I thought about an exhibition of paintings I'd just seen at the Sachs Gallery. The paintings were by John Lomberg, who was here before with photographs from the Voyager missions. And John is a person who I think shares that excitement about the great leap into space, but also shares, as I do, the concern about what we're going to take with us.
It's an amazing time in human history that we are making our first reconnaissance of the solar system, our first attempts to look for life elsewhere. I like to be maybe a little more optimistic than Doctor Who, but I think our species has a tremendous future in space if we don't kill ourselves first.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Space on the larger scale is filled with galaxies, each one a system of billions of stars, each one, as far as we know, teeming with life.
John, is that a painting done from a photograph, or is that a conception of your own?
Most of my work are conceptions of my own, but they're pretty solidly based on astronomical information. For instance, we found in the last 15 years or so that many galaxies explode, like this spiral galaxy, sending out these powerful jets, probably killing all life forms in the galaxy.
Is that like the equivalent of a nova with star?
Black holes may have something to do with it, big black holes in the center of the galaxies. They don't really know why galaxies explode, but they do have a pretty good idea that ours isn't exploding. This is what the Milky Way might look like if you were a few million light years from it looking at it. Most of the stars, most of the light is in the center. Our star, our sun, is in one of the spiral arms that wind out from the center of the galaxy, about 2/3 of the way from the center. If you dove down into the Milky Way, this is the kind of view you might get.
You mean diving down from where we are on the spiral arm, or from outside?
Diving down from outside, you'd see the spiral arms are really made of stars and gas and lots of dust. And the stars, as they move around the center of the galaxy, move through the gas and they move through the dust. There's a theory that when stars go through these dark dust clouds, it causes ice ages, and that's what causes the ice ages on the Earth, the sun passing through a big cloud of dust. This is an image of a star in a dust cloud, kind of carving a little cocoon for itself.
Who does the interstellar weather forecasts, John? It looks like it needs it.
Yeah. Most of the stars in the galaxy probably are surrounded by planets, and most of them may be kind of lifeless, rocky, desert-like planets like this view of Mars, but presumably maybe 1 in 1,000, even 1 in 1,000,000 might harbor some form of life.
Again, that's your own conception of a Mars landscape.
Yeah, though it was taken from one of the Viking photographs. This shows a planet similar to Earth, but with a civilization on it, more advanced, that's developed some kind of technology that you see evidence of on the night side, some kind of energy network system. A planet out there that we might someday communicate with. The interesting thing is thinking about trying to get in touch with these other worlds, these brother and sister worlds out there in space. This is another one with a ring around it, but a ring where they've put their technology, their machinery into the ring. And
Oh, you mean they built this one? It wasn't natural rings like Saturn's?
Yeah, or maybe they modified a natural ring and are beaming energy back down to the surface.
It's got those Saturn spokes, though, doesn't it?
Something like it. We can use radio telescopes like this one at Arecibo, Puerto Rico, to try to listen for radio messages from these other planets if they're there. This is what the Arecibo telescope looks like from right underneath it, silhouetted against the Milky Way with all its
Very
billions of
classical
stars.
with the circle and the triangle.
It almost looks like an astrological symbol, but that's what it really looks like.
It's the snowflake.
I imagine that in other universes, different physical laws might apply, so maybe the galaxies there would be shaped like snowflakes, say, rather than like cyclones, which is how they're shaped in our universe.
We live in a violent space, not just a violent time, eh?
That's right. There's a connection between life and the universe. This tries to make a metaphorical view of that connection of the DNA molecule. In this case, half atoms and half planets.
It's a double helix spirals.
The double helix spiraling down into the galaxy to sort of show the intimate connection between life and stars.
And a spaceship, a space fish.
A space fish. There are two oceans, the oceans on Earth and the ocean of space. Life arose in the ocean here and is moving out into the ocean of space. I tried to draw an analogy between the two. Just like the oceans on Earth, space is mostly empty, but with some interesting islands and oases of life.
And 2001?
Well, like the ending of 2001, I liked that concept of a kind of new kind of human being with the universe inside his head, or more a part of the universe. This was the cover for a book by Sagan Broca's Brain. And here a human form kind of embedded in the Milky Way, truly at one with the cosmos.
Woman in the Stars. What's your title for this, John?
Milky Way Woman.
Milky Way Woman. Thank you very much, John. John Lomberg is not only a space journalist and space artist. As it happens, he was chief artist for Carl Sagan's Cosmos series on television. And these paintings and others are on view still at the Saks Gallery on Simcoe Street in Toronto.
Struggle Beneath the Sea, a rare